Recorded live with little or no editing. It's Defense Up. I'm Run 7. How you doing? We're jumping into this Crucible Season 5 with both feet. We're recording video after video after video, trying to get you guys as much info as we can with ideas, talking about what looks good and what may not be so good, and discussing a few other ideas here. The big idea for today's video is that it is the first matchup of Crucible, and you're probably going to want to reserve as much as you can on offense or whatever comes your way, because we just don't know what's going to be good and what's not going to be good. And so you want to have all your tools in the tool bag to be prepared for it. We're going over Spudlord's defense, and they are 38 million in Platinum 3, I believe. So in room 1, which is the teamwork room, they assist people who have Striker. We have the Secret Defenders and Noir. This is a popular one if you watch the myriad of videos out there telling you what teams to use. This is a really popular one for room 1. The reason this works is because Noir is fast, he goes, and then the other 4 assist him because the other 4 are strikers. Now, Noir does not need to be a striker to make this work. All he has to do is go fast, and they'll all follow him. However, if your Noir is built up as big as the rest, then you want to make him a striker so that he will assist them when they take their turns, and you'll get some good damage out of him. But if he's not built up as much, then you want him to be a skirmisher or a raider to put out vulnerables that they can then double tap into on their turns to get a better amount of damage out of the team. All in all, I think this is great for Spudlord. I think it's built just fine. I don't think people should be building Noir for any reason whatsoever. If you don't have a Noir built, pick somebody else that's fast and throw them in here. You could use Spider-Woman, you could use Big Time, you could use Black Widow, you could use anybody you want that's fast. Just put them in there. Actually, I don't think Black Widow would specifically be a great choice because of what she does turn 1. However, this is great. I'm going to give that one an A and move on to room number 2. This is hot garbage. First off, Kestrel and Fury should be reserved for offense, or you could use Kestrel as a sub-in for some specific rooms that are going to be dealing with a lot of defense down. Might be a choice for that. But the Invaders, please. These guys are terrible. I think the idea Spudlord had here is that Kestrel will get hot targeted and killed quickly, and then Rescue will bring her back to life with the ultimate. Only problem is Fury is going to be subbing in some minions, and those will be soaking up the first attacks. Kestrel will not get killed fast enough. Rescue will take her first turn, which is her ultimate, and then you're going to have to wait until next Crucible bout before Rescue takes her turn 3 ultimate, or her turn 1 ultimate again, which would be turn 4, whatever. It's not going to work out the way you want it to. Don't do this. This is terrible. We like an Infinity Watch in here. If you happen to have an OG Sinister 6, you could throw them in here. The room rules for 2 is the whole basic giving speed up, and you get some barrier for characters with speed up. So if you have teams that utilize speed up a lot, they could gain some barrier in here, and it could be pretty useful. You're gonna hear us say that Infinity Watch is good in a lot of rooms. They just are. They're good. Like a decent choice for almost all of these rooms, and I personally like Infinity Watch in 2. I think that's what I'm actually using. This is a garbage team, though. I think this is an absolute waste. I think it's going to get destroyed. Juicy says that Pegasus with Fury would basically like be a quasi-mirror match, but a much superior version of this, and just destroy this. Don't use this. This for me is an F, and we're going to move on to room number 3. This is Infinity Watch in here. Now, Infinity Watch in 3 isn't a great idea. I mean, you could use them, sure, but this is the room where abilities cost a little bit less to use and they spread negative effects. Now, Infinity Watch isn't going to be getting a lot of negative effects because they spawn with immunity and safeguard, and so they're not going to be covered with stuff. And if you do ability block somebody, they don't spread it because they're not using their ultimate, that sort of thing. So in that sense, it works well, but I think there's better places to be using your Infinity Watch. In here, I like a Sinister 6, preferably a Superior 6, but of course we don't have access to those characters yet. But even better, I like these ideas of the Black Order hybrids. You take like a Thanos, an Ebony Maw, and a Proxima Midnight, and you combine them with say a Doom or a Dormammu or anything really cool that does neat stuff with her ultimate. Quicksilver in there would be fantastic because you're going to be spreading negative effects. Thanos then flips all of the negative effects on his team, so there's no negative effects being spread there. And they're all using some big ultimate abilities. Turn meter rewind galore with that Quicksilver on there. You know, you've got the Thanos ult, then you've got the Ebony Maw ult, which is percentage damage. Then you could have that Quicksilver ult coming in. Lots of fun stuff. I like the Black Order hybrids for Room 3. This isn't exactly wrong. I just think there's a better place to put it. I'm giving this a C. It's pretty meh. Number 4, Unlimited with a Phoenix in here. This is the on successful dodge, you gain stealth. What you want to be thinking about in here is not the 20% damage gain for characters under stealth. That's just a little cherry on top. What you want are teams that will go under stealth when you don't expect them to because they're getting evade. Like a new Avengers. If you're building your new Avengers for the Gobi Scourge, then throw them in here. They're fast, they're new, people don't understand them, and it's going to be even trickier to get them when you have Tigra going under stealth out of nowhere. However, the Unlimited team in here isn't terrible, especially with Phantom X giving the team evades. That's kind of cool. You've also got the stealth feature coming from Phoenix, which then they get the 20% damage boost. However, if you're gonna go with this unlimited hybrid, I don't like the placement in here. The Phoenix is pretty small. Let's change her and Rogue swap positions so that if Phoenix does die, there's gap placement between Rogue and the rest of them. I think maybe Phantom X should probably be on the other side because he's gonna get a taunt. And I don't like him, I don't know, I just don't like him near Gambit. So we need to adjust the placement and think about gap placement after Phoenix is dead and who's taunting and where you want those characters to be. For me, this is a B-. I'm not super excited about this. The one thing I really think that matters is that for the first round of Crucible this first week, I think maybe keeping Unlimited for offense. They're a powerful offensive tool. I think they're better used for offense than they are on defense. Although we did talk about what would you use to beat this team, and you know, you're looking at like Masters of Evil or something, so maybe it's really going to be good for defense, but you may want to have this on offense in case your opponent has it on defense, and then you can mirror it with some speed and it's not a problem anymore. Let's move on to room number 5. This is a Weapon X with APOC team, or as I like to call it, this is an Apocalypse team who happens to be surrounded by the Weapon X. Now, Weapon X isn't a bad team to put around here. Keep in mind, Lady Deathstrike isn't a mutant, she's tech. And you might be better off replacing Lady Deathstrike with Apocalypse and keeping Wolverine on the team. Not really sure, though. This is kind of one of those rooms where we're like, I don't know what's going to be best. A lot of people like the Deathseed team in here because the mirror becomes a really tough way to beat the Deathseed team with them both cleansing each other. Also, Omega Red puts out a lot of negative effects. A lot of these characters put out a lot of negative effects. Now, the bleeds do take effect, and then they're cleansed. So if you have enough bleeds on somebody, they could die before the cleansing effect. But if not, that's a lot of negative effects that they're going to turn into health. So maybe you want to think about teams that put out more what I call clean damage, less negative effects, and just hit hard with like offense up sort of thing. Maybe that's an option. Weapon X isn't a bad choice. I think that if you want to try something crazy with a big plug-and-play character like Apocalypse, Doolam suggested that you go with a Death Seed and, was it Quicksilver? I think it was Death Seed with Quicksilver. Would be an interesting thing to put your plug-and-play characters in. I don't think Apocalypse should be used on defense this round. I think that's another character that you want in your tool bag in case things go south and you need something crazy to just really get it done. I think Apocalypse should be reserved. Unlimited is another good choice in here. Again, Unlimited, a powerful tool for offense. Honestly, I think for Spudlord, maybe just going a straight Weapon X would be the best thing to do for now. Judge how it plays out and decide if you want to swap out somebody with Apocalypse, with a Dormammu, or whatever. For me, I really don't like that Apocalypse is in here right now, even though it may turn out that that was a good play. So I'm giving this a skeptical B-. And room number 6, I don't like this at all. I think this is kind of a waste of the Darkhold Quicksilver combo. Darkhold Quicksilver is a known quantity, and even with the room rules of villains giving defense down and heroes giving offense down, I think this is a known quantity that's going to get rolled pretty easy. It's not very exciting, and I think it's a waste. I think this team would be better off in a different room, somewhere else, maybe one of those blank rooms like room number 2. You could throw them in there and just have it a big thing that they have to deal with. For me, I like Gamma in 6. I like Gamma in 6 because it changes the way you would normally attack into Gamma. She-Hulk becomes a much more higher priority target. Every time that team is getting hit, it's giving She-Hulk a charge to cleanse the team. And so suddenly you have to pay way more attention to She-Hulk and control that, stunning her or killing her quickly so that she can't cleanse that team. So Gamma in there is a great choice. If you want to go Gamma APOC, Gamma Quicksilver, Gamma Big Time, whatever, that's something you could do if you want. I think a straight Gamma, especially a Gamma healer, is probably the way to go. That's what I would do. There's nothing wrong with this. The placement is correct, but it's not a very exciting team, and it's a known quantity at this time. So, the things to be remembered from today's episode: save your big toys, your plug-and-play characters, your offensive powerhouses. Save those for offense for the first round. Let's get a good feel for how this works, and we'll give it a shot. Otherwise, thank you, Spudlord, for sending in your teams for us to go over. If you want your defenses featured on Defense Up, find me on Discord. Links are in the description below. Thanks to everybody that joined me in voice today. We had a bunch of people in voice. I think it was Comrade Red and Rolf Kieran, Dulam, some other people. So appreciate that. Remember, guys, don't just have a good game, be good to yourselves and others too, and we'll see you next time. Bye.